Om Sai Ram, Shree Sai Gyaneswari Preface. Shree Sai is like a cloud of infinite mercy. The rain of his kind mercy showers divine knowledge, which can wipe out the dust of ignorance and darkness created by powerful illusion of this manifested world. Shree Sai Gyaneswari is the fruit of his extreme mercy and kindness. It consists of truth, wisdom, and knowledge. This knowledge is like an entire ocean placed in a small pot. It is very precious, has a universal approach, and has the divine ability to transform even the non devotees to the path of spirituality. Shree Sai appeared in 19th century in Shirdi and blazed the world for 60 years. The whole world has felt the divinity of his presence. He insisted on simplicity and purity rather than the rigid religious practices. He is still as active as before, and millions have experienced his divine presence and powers. A lot of believers and devotees used to come to him from distant places, and he used to bless them with a few words of knowledge and instructions. With the divine grace, all those who came to him were more than satisfied. He used to fulfill their worldly and spiritual desires. He blessed many with children, and many got cured of their deadly disease. Those who had desire for pure devotion and knowledge, Shree Sai blessed them with incredible divine knowledge. Some conversations between Sai Maharaj and the devotees were observed and written by the singer devotee Das Ganu Maharaj in typical Marathi language in poetic hymns, which was the local Marathi tradition. This treasure of Sai literature is full of spiritual and divine knowledge. The brief conversation revealed the most gracious knowledge, which was written in 7 chapters of 3 books: Sri Bhakti Lilamrit, Sri Sant Kathamrit, and Sri Bhakti Saramrit. The poetic literature was full of spiritual knowledge imparted by Sai Maharaj to the devotees. This knowledge was worthy literature containing human, religious, and spiritual values. In fact, it was an eye opener for the so called modern world and those who do not consider spiritualism as the main subject of their life and who do not believe in existence of God or believe it half-heartedly. With the blessing of Sainath Maharaj, Rakesh Juneja ji had the opportunity to go through this literature. Immediately he was greatly impressed and inspired by the grace of Almighty to share this knowledge for the benefit of all of us. As it was a new form of Bhagavad Gita for the generations of today. After careful study, he selected the important texts, consolidated them, and incorporated into 9 chapters depicting the 9 modes of devotion, Navavida Bhakti. These 9 chapters have 700 texts that represent the Sai message to the entire world. This unique transcendental knowledge and wisdom is being produced before you in this book titled Shree Sai Gyaneswari. The translation and real meaning of the poetic Marathi language was a challenge, but with the grace and mercy of Sadguru's lotus feet, this was completed with utmost care. Shree Sai is the source, reason, and creator of this book. He makes impossible things possible. When and how Shree Sai will bestow his mercy is unpredictable. It is a mystery to Rakesh Juneja ji also, and he feel it is the Leela of Shree Sai that this creation is written and published. Probably there is a great need of this knowledge in the present age, where time and life are both short, and God wanted to show the righteous path to the worldly people so that they can make best use of their life. Maybe he desired to give valuable knowledgeable to millions of devotees all over the world who cannot read regional Indian languages. His divine inspirations and intervention created the book first in Hindi and after 1 year in English language. Whatever may the reason, but for sure, Sri Sai inspired a devotee and creates situation that ultimately lead to what he desires. The creation of Sri Sai Gyaneswari is the result of his divine mercy and blessing and nothing else. This book teaches how to perform karma and fulfill the duties and responsibilities of this worldly life, and how to get relief from suffering, sorrows, and misfortunes. The purpose of life, cycle of birth and death, destiny, maya, devotion, salvation, etc., are very interesting topics of spiritual interest that have been explained in this book. This book also reveals the secret knowledge about God and His powers. This small book contains the core knowledge of Shastras. It is very simple but capable of removing darkness and ignorance. It gives righteous direction to life and contributes to the fruitful journey of the human soul on earth. Sri Sai created numerous Leelas which continue even today. Every word that he said is true, has meaning. His words are sufficient to quench the human spiritual quest. It is impossible to put together these infinite Leelas and golden words and bind them into one scripture. When I came across such hidden treasures, when Rakesh Juneja ji came across such hidden treasure, he thought it to be his moral duty and responsibility to bring it forth for the benefit of humankind. To create the scripture, a writer has to go to beyond the abilities and capabilities. With his limited resources, he had made his best efforts to write and create a valuable presentation for the benefit of all. During the pilgrimage to Shirdi, he had the opportunity to go to the birthplace of Dasganu Maharaj in Akolner, Maharashtra. He always admired him for Sai devotional services and for the precious treasure of knowledge that he left for future generations. After the visit, he was curious to know more about his literature and so started collecting and studying his books and scriptures. He was extremely amazed with the depth of his knowledge. The divine knowledge in the 7 chapters was like the spiritual knowledge of Shastras, Bhagavad Gita, and Gyaneshwari all together. It was precious and practical in a new concept and very suitable to present needs of the society. The knowledge is in the form of stories and conversation, so that the reader understands and remembers the divine message easily and remembers it for a long time. He was sincerely felt that this knowledge must spread all over the world for the benefit of everyone. In no time, the inspiration was transformed into action by the mercy of God. After some research, he concluded that this knowledge was the ultimate. It was very rare and precious and must be put together and brought to the entire world. This divine knowledge is through conversations of Sri Sai with his favorite devotee Chadorkar. It is in the form of speech and instruction. Exactly like Lord Krishna imparting divine knowledge of Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. The assignment was very difficult and looked impossible for a person like Rakesh Junejaji with limited knowledge, and so he sought blessings of the spiritual teacher Sadguru Sai for his divine inspiration and guidance. The task could not be completed without his intervention and blessings. In a very short time, with the blessing of Shree Sai, the impossible task became possible. Even though he was not trained to write and could hardly understand Marathi language, he had a strong belief that Baba would make it possible, and that is what happened. He was able to receive positive waves, directions, and support from dedicated team. His dedicated team. It was teamwork organized and facilitated by Baba himself. After translation, the consolidation and selection of a text was arranged. All the necessary work was completed just in a span of few months. How it was done so easily, it is a miracle. Firmly believe that Sri Sai had planned and arranged everything. And Rakesh Junejaji, just a medium and nothing else. He was thought that. The Granth in Hindi was launched in Shirdi and many other Sai Baba temples in India and also in Grand Rapids, USA on the auspicious day of Guru Purnima in 2016. The English version is scheduled for Guru Purnima 2017. Things happened very smoothly. With the divine grace of Sri Sai, we could easily overcome all the hurdles and difficulties that come on our way. My dedicated team, Rakesh Junejaji's dedicated team, and his family will always remain in debt for bestowing such a great mercy that has given self containment of many births. Rakesh Junejaji sincerely wish, desire, and pray to the lotus feet of Sri Sai for this grant to reach everyone, to awaken their inner soul and get blessed with divine water of knowledge. The regular study of the spiritual Granth shower blessings on the devotee and provides peace, protection, spiritual progress, and opens the door to permanent happiness, which is assured by Dasganu Maharaj. It is a great pleasure, joy, and bliss to perform this assignment as inspired and desired by Sadguru Sri Sai. He was only tried to do his duty as his servant, as Baba's servant. How successful this service is, the reader will know and decide. All praises and glories to go only to Sri Sai, without whom this was impossible. Although the precious assignment was done with complete care and utmost responsibility, still being an ordinary human being, Rakesh Junejaji may have committed errors and mistakes. He seeks sincere apology and pardon for being imperfect and born unknowledgeable. He was very sure we will not consider his mistake and imperfection and instead read and enjoy the conversation of our God Sai Baba with his devotee and gain knowledge and wisdom for your own benefit. Om Sai Ram.